Hi, how you doing today? It's Gianta here, and I want to welcome you to this video. If you're watching the video live, make sure you put live in the description and let me know where you're watching it from, because I like to know where my viewers are watching from. If you're watching the replay, make sure you put replay in the comments, so that way I could go back and I could see who's watching the video at a later time and answer any questions that you have. So the three main things that I'm going to talk about today in this video are, first and foremost, how is your identity created? And what is your identity? What is your identity, and how do you create the boundaries that you need in your business to keep the motivation going without negative forces holding you back in your business? So that's what you're going to learn, is how to set those boundaries and what is your identity, because it's a lot different than what we're told, right? So that's the first thing that we're going to learn in the video today. And the second thing is the 7 motivators that keep you motivated, that keep you moving forward, that keep you wanting to have success in your business and going after something that you really love and enjoy. So your passions, what's going to keep you motivated. So there's 7 key motivators. There's 7 things that you will learn in the video. And also, the last thing is, how do you create the life changes that you need in your business to be able to have success in your life, have the success that you want to have the results that you want to have in your business? How do you create those things, right? So we're going to talk about how to create life changes as well. So those are the things that we're going to talk about. So you're going to want to stay to the end of the video, so that way I can let you know some very cool things I have in store for you. So let's get into it. So the first main thing that I'm going to talk about is identity. And what is your identity? So what is your identity? And your identity is actually not what you think it is. It's not what people have told you all your life. It's not what people have conditioned you to believe, right? You have your own identity. Your own identity is not what other people try to put on you. Not their beliefs, not their views, not their visions. You have your own vision. You have your own way of doing things. You have your own things that you love to do in life, right? So your visions are your visions, and what you love to do create your identity. What you love, what you do in your life, who you are, how you feel about certain topics, your belief system, all of that stuff creates your identity. It's not what other people call you. It's not what other people tell you. It's not what other people are doing in your life to make you believe a certain way, right? That's their own beliefs. That's not your beliefs, that's their beliefs. So you never want to go off of somebody else and somebody else's beliefs. You want to form your own opinions, your own views, your own beliefs, and stick to your beliefs. Be confident in what you say. Be confident in what you believe. Know what you're doing is right. Know that you have your own views, your own standards, your own things that you want in life, your own things that you want to accomplish. And that's really what it's about. If you have your own things that you want to accomplish, you know exactly what you need to do to get there. The thing about it is, we have external forces that try to keep us away from our dreams. They try to protect us, or they hate on us, and they try to keep us away from the things that we want to do. So either they're hating on you, or they're trying to protect you, but their way of protection to you is not really what you need in your life. You need a support system, not people that are going to try to keep you away from your dreams. So I always try to encourage people to go after their dreams. Never stop doing what you want to do in life, and always go after, always achieve it, always keep going, because that is what keeps you motivated, and that's going to create your identity. Your identity is not what other people think of you. What other people think of you is their own perception, their own identity, but they don't know nothing about you. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know what you had to experience in your life. They don't know any of that stuff, right? So you want to create your own identity, and your identity is not what they say about you. You have your own individual way of doing things. So that is your identity, and what other people say about you, it's irrelevant. So sometimes in order to keep away the negative energy, sometimes we have to put up our barriers. Sometimes we have to, put up a boundary, right? So it might be a friend or family member that is being negative towards what you're doing in business or what you're doing in life. Sometimes is what we have to do is we have to put up that boundary and be like, you know what, so-and-so, I respect your opinion, I respect your belief, but I see things, differently, and it's okay to have your own beliefs, but I'm living life for me. I'm gonna have my own way of doing things, and I do things because I love to do them, and that's what really matters. I want to live and love my life to the fullest, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So we could talk about something else, and I respect your beliefs. I respect your opinions. I know you're trying to protect me, or I know that you feel your own certain way about what I'm doing, but I'm going to continue doing what I love because it makes me happy. And that's all you got to say, and you leave it there. You leave it there. Sometimes we have to create those boundaries, and sometimes that might even involve, blocking people online or on your phone, or not communicating with certain people who are bringing you down in life, right? So you always going to have people that bring you up in life. If they're not motivating you, if they're not bringing you up, if they're not helping you, if they're not supportive, then they're not really going to be true to you when you get higher up in business and when you start achieving your goals. They're going to find reasons of why you're acting different now, because you're changing, right? They're not changing, they're not growing, and part of growing is change. So you always want to keep that in mind, and you always want to go after what you want to do and not what somebody else wants you to do. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about in this video is the 7 motivators that are going to keep you going, the 7 motivators that are going to keep you driving, going to keep that passion, that feeling in you. And you have to realize, because this is all human nature, right? So the one of the main things is the first one, which is fear, right? So if you have fear in you, the fear in you, it's going to create a change in you, right? It's either going to create a change or it's going to keep you the same. So depending on what the fear is, that's a motivating factor, because a lot of people, they don't never change unless something happens in their life and it causes them to want to change, right? So the fear is what keeps them in the same place, or it motivates them for a change because they don't want the same result. So then they're in fear of staying the same. So you have to determine what your fear does for you. Does it make you want to change, or does it keep you in the same boat, right? Because you're scared of the change, right? Because people take fear different ways, but it is a driver in your life. Fear is what's going to determine your future and your future results, what you have as far as your business in your life, personal life, business life, what you do in your life. Fear is what creates that. So if you have a fear that's bad enough and you want to have a change, you're going to go full force with whatever you have to do, because that fear of staying the same is worse than the fear of change. And you want the change in your life so bad that you're willing to do whatever it takes. So the next thing, the next motivating factor is desire. So if you desire something bad enough, if you want it bad enough, if you feel it internally when you wake up and go to sleep and everything like that, that alone, that desire is going to keep you hungry. That desire for change, that desire for want, that desire for not having or maybe wanting and having lack in your life? Do you have the desire to change? The desire is what the motivating factor is going to do for you, because desire keeps you wanting more. Because if you don't desire something, you're not going to go after it, right? So the desire has to keep you strong, keep you strong-minded, knowing where you're going in your life with the direction. If you're serious about whatever you're doing in your life and in your business, you're going to have that desire. The next thing is the path of least resistance. So a lot of people, they don't want to take the hard way out. They want to always do the easy way, right? Easy way keeps them in the same place, right? So a motivating factor for people is to want that change, and they have to do the opposite of what their brain's telling them, right? So if they don't want the change, if they don't want that resistance, they're going to stay complacent. They're going to stay in the same situation that they're in. They're not going to want to make a difference, and they're going to get used to a routine, but it's going to be a routine that runs them. They don't have any control over the routine when you don't fight back, when you don't create a routine that's against what your mind is thinking. So you have to actually have a motivating factor of creating a routine and creating a change by doing what the path of least resistance says for you. So you cannot fear going against the path of least resistance and doing the thing that is the most struggle for you. So then after that, we're going to talk about the growth. Growth is another element of motivating factors. So if you're going to be motivated, you need to grow, right? So growth is one of those factors. So you have to grow by experiences. You grow throughout your life by what you experience in life. If you don't have any experiences, you're not going to create that growth for yourself. So you have to always create that growth for yourself and know exactly what you want out of life. And how you know what you want out of life and know that you could grow is by the pain that you experience in your life and the lessons that you learn in life. That's all growth. So that's going to be exactly how you grow, is by experiencing things that you have never experienced before. You got to take yourself out of your comfort zone. You got to take yourself to a whole nother level by experiencing new experiences, by knowing what you've seen in the past, knowing that you don't want it like it was in the past, knowing that you want to change. If you don't want to change, you're not going to grow. And if you don't grow, then you're going to die. Right? So then after that, you need the lack of, there's a lack of understanding that people have. Right? So if you have a lack of understanding, people don't know everything. Right? So the lack of understanding keeps people wanting to know more. Even if they might know some things, there are gaps in their life and how they feel. There's going to be a little lack of understanding there, right? So you always want to keep learning and always keep growing your mind, and that fulfills that lack of understanding, and that's going to make you stronger when you do go and seek the answers for yourself. Seek the answers and seek the change within yourself that you want to see externally, right? So the next thing is to have self-motivated action. That's a motivating factor. Everybody has self-motivated action, which means they take certain actions because they want to change in their life. So the self-motivation helps them create that change that they want to have in their life. If they're not self-motivated, then they're not going to take the steps to actually go out there and do it. But everybody has a self-motivated thing about themselves, to where they want to actually be driven, and that's what causes people to create change. That's what causes people to do extreme stuff. That's what causes people to invest in themselves, invest in their skills, invest in their learning. The self-motivating factor is what keeps them wanting to learn some stuff and keep growing your mindset. The next thing is instant gratification. So a lot of people want instant gratification. They get into something, they want a result overnight. A lot of people aren't patient, but you have to be patient with this stuff because nothing happens overnight. So there's something called the Law of Germination. The Law of Germination basically means that it takes a certain amount of time for something to manifest in your life. So if you're planting a seed, if you're trying to grow a business, planting a seed for your business, it's going to take a certain amount of time, certain amount of hours of consistency. So you have to be consistent, you have to show up, you have to be there, you have to know that it's going to happen over time, but you have to let everything grow and develop and go through certain stages to be able to blossom, right? So if you're trying to grow in your business and in your life, you have to work on yourself, and then you grow internally. When you grow internally, you become higher in value. So when you become higher in value, your worth becomes more, but your internal worth has to come first. Your internal worth is what creates your external results. So your internal worth is whatever you believe it to be, but it's all in your mind. So you're worth whatever you believe you're worth, right? But you have to work on your mind to know that your worth is very, very high and that you can't really put a price value on your worth. But you have to know that for yourself. You can't have somebody else say that for you. You have to know that for yourself. So your worth determines your wealth, right? So your worth is going to determine how much you're going to make in life, how much success you're going to have in life, because you have to believe that it's true. If you believe that it's true, you're going to have the success that you want to have in life, but you have to believe it, right? So then the last thing that I'm going to talk about is how do you create life changes in your life? Well, to create life changes in your life, you have to do a couple of things. You have to first believe that it's possible. You have to learn what you want out of life. You have to learn exactly what you want out of life, and that might take going out and experiencing things, going out and doing some experimentation with the things that you like in your life, with the things that you want to see in your life, with the things that make you happy in life. What makes you happy? What makes you happy? Because whatever it is that makes you happy, that's what you want to do more of. Whatever it is that makes you happy, that's what you want to experience more. That's what you want to create a lifestyle around. You want to do what makes you happy every single day in your life, and you just don't want to be living a life to where you're like a robot and you live your life to work and die, right? So the main thing is you want to create a life change, and how you create a life change is knowing more about yourself, knowing that you want the change and going after the change. So after you figure out about yourself, you have to take that massive action to create the change, because nobody's going to create the change for you. You have to create the change for yourself. The only way that you're going to create the change for yourself is by coming up with a structure and going full force with it, going all the way with it, like you don't have no other option. Like there's no other option, and you're going to make it happen no matter what. That's how you really need to see stuff, and that's really how you have to go into business and go in your life and structure your life. You have to go after it like as if your life depended on it. And that's what's going to create the success in your life. If you're consistent, if you show up, if you really want it, if you have those other factors of the motivating factors, the 7 motivating factors, you're going to have the success in your life if you stay consistent with it. And it's very, very important. So that's what I want to say about this video. So if you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you love, make sure you share, show that love. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you, and talk to you soon.